This episode of Capes and Lunatics is brought to you by Tweaked Audio. To get awesome headphones, go to tweakedaudio.com and use the coupon code Southgate to get 30% off, free shipping, and a lifetime warranty. Or you can get there through the link on our website, southgatemediagroup.com.
Recording has started.
There's a thin line between heroism and madness.
Here the line fades to nothing at all.
This is a world of Capes and Lunatics.
And nothing is off limits.
Good morning, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Capes and Lunatics as Little Hellfire tears her room apart. Leave her alone. She's not sober. Or she's hungover.
Yeah, sorry, guys. Not really.
Charlie Esser, freshly shaven, new headphones. Good grief. Good grief. It's always fun here. So, let's dive on in. Capes and Lunatics starts right now. Yeah, and the Esser dance.
Well, there you go, man. That was that peak. You gotta lay it down. You got a little breakdown there.
Gotta have the eye candy dance. That's right.
Oh, yeah.
Welcome to the Capes and Lunatics. I am Phil. That sexy dancer over there is...
Charlie, the professor, rhymes with Misiesa.
And that barely conscious woman is...
Hey, y'all, it's Little Hellfire.
See, follow us on YouTube. You can see the Hellfire clip.
Mm-hmm. It's Little 66.
Little 66. It's Little 69. Get it right.
Thank you.
I was trying to rise above it all.
Nonsense! This is Capes and Lunatics.
So, where shall we begin? Do you want to talk to Sabrina lawsuit?
Sure. Okay. So here's an interesting story. Because it just goes to show you that no matter how hip and fly you try to be, for a society of you will always slip upon the.
He was perfect when we before I hit the button.
Temple, not to be confused with the Church of Satan.
Charlie?
I'm sorry, what? These are splitters, you know. Yes, what, you can't hear me now?
You were breaking up. You were kind of
being heard.
we were having trouble hearing you. Can you?
Oh, I don't know.
You seem all right
okay,
now. Okay. You seem all right.
I mean, I can hear you okay. I don't know. Okay. Anyway, so I'll edit that out later. That's what we paid her for.
I edit this fool. All right.
Anyway. Okay. So the Church of Satan, not the Church of Satan, sorry, the Satanic Temple has, which is not the Church of Satan, because this is a big confusion, okay? There's the Church of Satan, which is like the more established main Satanism that most of us grew up with. And then there's the Satanic Temple, which is this new kind of upstart Satanistic thing. Now, granted, the Satanic Temple is more out there with their publicity. They're the guys with the big statue that they want to put into all of the various displays of religiosity that have come up where they, because you can't put in just the Ten Commandments in a park. You also have to have other religious icons there, so you can say it's just the panoply of our religious culture. And so the Satanic Temple says, well, great, so we'd like to put our big statue in your park too then. Anyway, it's a little bit of an iconic. When Sabrina the when the Chilling Adventures of Sabrina came out, and they went to the Academy of the Unseen, which is weird that it's like, the weirdest thing about Sabrina is that nothing really is that hidden. Huh? It's like, the Academy, it's not like Hogwarts, you have to like jump through a wall to get to. It's like there's...
it's abandoned on the outside and bigger on the inside. Kind of tiny one TARDIS thing. Yeah. And it's implied that only witches can see it.
I don't know. Okay. I'll take your word that's implied. All I know is that Daniel Webster had no problem finding the courtroom. So.
Well, that was their church.
Yeah. Well, yeah, but
there before too. So.
I guess so. I guess there's always an argument for anything.
You just have to wave your hand and say,
"'Cause it was, bitches."
I'm too drunk for this. There's your freaking drop, Phil.
Anyway, so they put the statue, not the statue, but a similar statue to the one that the Satanic Temple has been putting out there.
Wait, did they copyright it though? Is my big question, because that symbol predates their church. I'm pretty sure.
Well, yeah.
So
and that's essentially Netflix argument. Is like you don't own Baphomet, you don't own children at the feet of Baphomet even, and we can show you 200 different. We can show you exactly where your artist stole that, and we're stealing from the same place. And yes, we are. I mean, here's the thing. Here's the real thing of it, though. When you look at what the actual premise of Sabrina is, the premise of Sabrina, if you want to get artistic, is that any hierarchical, patriarchal society is going to fall to corruption, pettiness, and venality.
Yep.
And here you have essentially the Satanic Temple not getting the joke and playing into the troll of saying, "Oh, how dare you use our symbol?" Sort of like anytime you.
Honestly, I think they just want publicity. At the end of the day, they just wanted publicity. That's what I think. Because they have to know that they're not all a bunch of schmoes. I think they definitely just wanted the publicity.
I think they might be a bunch of schmoes. It's like when the Catholic Church goes up in arms about something Madonna does, But
is it the Catholic Church or is it the Catholic League, which is just one guy in his mom's basement?
Well, yeah, that's true too. But
what do you think the Satanic Temple is? It's some guy in his basement who never got laid.
No, it's a couple people. It's at least 6 people. Bro, what is it? Religion has to be at least 8 people or something like that. Whatever it is, 10 people.
Yeah, I'm not sure, but it is an established offshoot of the church of the original Anton LaVey founded Church of Satan. I believe it was Anton LaVey who founded the Church of Satan. Anyway,
it's funny because American Horror Story got blasted for using the Church of Satan recently too, because they used the guy's actual name and said he faked his death to wait for the Antichrist or whatever. So I'm just like, it's Halloween, just deal with it, guys. Just keep it moving.
Yeah, and well, of course, and here's the thing, true Satanism, it's mostly about self-actualization. You don't actually worship Satan because you don't. It's really an atheistic religion at its core. You're not sitting there, at least that's how it's always been described to me, that you're not actually invoking.
Well, it's like Masons. They never tell you the juicy stuff. Come on.
Fair enough. Yeah. Freemasons keep the metric system down.
Yeah, Charlie. You gotta keep the trade secrets, like how you make the sacrificial goat.
So you get to like 9th or whatever it is, or anyway, they're not gonna tell you that.
At least they make Steve Gutenberg a star, so we can all be thankful for that.
But if you want more details on this, where can you find it?
We might talk some more of this on superconnectivity, because I do find the depth of the story and its conflict with the idea of how any philosophy, no matter how grounded in its tenets it may be, will become corrupted when it becomes about hierarchical power structures, lands, and dealings. Which, of course, if nothing else, that is what the entire the whole Feast of Feasts episode was about literally how someone was, which is
gaming the system.
Exactly, gaming the system to thwart their enemies, which of course is what the actual witch trials in Salem were about. Was someone wanted somebody's land, best way to get their land. Say, I think that person's a witch. We should remove them from their lands and let's take that. I'll steward their lands for them.
Kill folk, no witch folk. Poor Harvey.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Well, Oh, I don't know. I mean, I do gotta wonder if a soul eater actually eats a soul, because it does seem like really when you get to that that next life, the witches don't know any more than anyone else, even though they go there. So it's like, I don't know. I do wonder what happens when a soul when a soul eater eats your soul, or if it's maybe more like those starlings that they're like, no, we take you to the land of the dead. You're not supposed to be in the in-between place. And that's what the soul eater does, is it takes you to it takes you the rest of the way there, because you're not supposed to be in the in-between place.
If you're gonna burp, use a Rick and Morty burp. Damn it, Philip.
Sorry.
You're not in the middle place. I can't. What's her name? The one person in the middle.
I know. I forgot her name too.
Yes, I was going to say you're not that person, but what's her name? Oh goodness. Okay. Anyway, let's. That's what I had to say about that. I find it a very fascinating thing, the way that the Temple of Satan is playing into it, and the fact that the Church of Satan basically distanced themselves from the whole lawsuit. They said no. We're not
just them.
Yeah, that's just them. We're the good Satanists, If good is an abstract concept.
Good is a relative term.
So yeah, check out Super Connectivity this week for more on that.
Which, if you're watching YouTube, is up next.
Yeah.
Yes, but Charlie, I know Lilith. Me and Lilith talked about this. Did you see when Gotham's returning? They moved up the premiere date.
Oh, when is it returning?
It was supposed to be March. It was supposed to be March. Now it's January 3rd. Thursday, January 3rd.
Is that no? That's not after the Super Bowl. I was gonna say
no. It's like before.
Yeah, way before.
It's a Thursday night. It's not going to interfere with the Super Bowl,
Yeah, no, I'm just saying that would have been kind of smart to get peepers on it.
Well, I don't know if it's because they expanded their episode, because originally they were only going to get 10 episodes, but they gave them 2 more, so now they're 12, so they could hit episode 100.
Because we're going to be watching Gotham in syndication in 10 years.
I will be.
It'll be on FX and nowhere else. Like The Simpsons.
Or it'll be on DC streaming.
DC don't want that.
I don't know. I like the show. It's
DC
fun.
has I thought they screwed the Arrowverse, but the more that I look at Gotham, they really were just you know what? Just go away. Do what you want. We don't care. Just don't use the Joker and don't put him in the suit yet. That's it. Do what you want.
I think they did a very nice origin of the Joker. And we're getting a Joker origin story anyway. So,
But they can't call him Joker, right? Though, is that the deal? That's what I've read. It's the Joker, but they can't actually say it in name or something.
What, they don't want to mess with the 20 Joker movies they have in production?
I think that's what it is.
Well, I just think it makes sense that, he's a Joker. First off, because he's a Joker, not the Joker, because there are 3. What I think it is that basically they want to say, well, this is who may become the Joker if someone becomes the Joker at all. And if you even want to go into this deeper idea that Batman and Jokers, they always exist. And this universe may or may not ever have a Batman. It may or may not ever have a Joker. But it will always have people that are in the roles, fulfilling that part of the narrative of the universe. So the idea that you can't have a Batman without a Joker, and poor old Penguin just shoved off to the side. Because he's really Batman.
He's the boss, bro.
Yeah, but I've always said that the Penguin should be Batman's. He really is the anti-Batman.
Yeah, because he's money and evil. Although
it's privilege, his parents.
He's really what you claim Bruce Wayne is.
I think that the Cobblepot's, there's an interesting story.
Definitely.
He's selling orphans. Cobblepot's selling orphans. Charlie Esser, come on.
I think he's eating them personally. That's just me. It is Gotham.
Well, Batman Returns, that made it seem like that.
Oh, I don't think so. Honestly, I don't. I think the comic book was to get into the orphan game. But, I think that I'd get back into the orphan game. But, fortune and have means they don't contract at the Wing Corps pass, I think that Wayne maintains a orphan selling, and that is because you see that a problem when one grows out of his tights. Even had a whole army of Robins.
Anyway, be sure to watch our No Man's Land special. Hey, what about that comic capers corner we have?
Man, now I gotta cut that off. All right. That's right, we're doing a 19-part special on all the No Man Land comics.
God, our longest hell freaking special.
It was like every Batman book for a year. Oh, jeez.
Like every Batman book.
That is the kind of thing you guys could put on Patreon. That's the kind of thing you put behind a paywall.
No, porn stars are what we put behind our paywall. Come on now, Charlie. It's me and Phil. You're As soon as they agree, that's what's going up on the Patreon.
As soon as Rob tells me what he wants on the page, he keeps supposed to have a talk with Rob about this.
From other comic book podcasts.
What?
From other other comic book podcasts I listen to, will they'll up a special Patreon thing where they're reviewing, like for example, you have the Baxter Building over on Wait What, and before that they did like the first 2 years, and they just went through each of them, discussed each arc and each story and each writer. And that would be up on the Patreon, and then after it had gone through its run on Patreon, then they would release it to everybody else. But if you paid that extra thing, you got to get that content as it was produced rather than, 2 years after the fact.
Well, Lilith, did you find many porn stars yet?
Maybe one.
Ooh.
It's a big dose. I don't know. No offense to no porn stars. Just, you guys know you're not the bread and butter.
Well, of course they know that, but, it doesn't mean that they're not part of the...
You're literally a dime a dozen.
Oh, jeez.
Well, in the age of Viagra, that's become more and more the case, but,
no more horny goat weed supplements. Are the horny goat weed supplement guys out of business because of Viagra? I feel like maybe. Because I haven't seen one at a 7-Eleven in quite some time.
Oh, well, I don't know. I guess, Well, I think they brand it differently now. Trust me, the supplement market is thriving.
No, the 7-Eleven supplement market is much, much different than your GNC and vitamin world, let me tell you.
And Lilith.
No.
Lilith, Here's by the Pint has a Patreon, so if they're talking the way they are on their regular podcast, what are they doing on that Patreon?
You know what? I'm gonna pay $2 and see what's going on. Or $5 or whatever it is, and I'll report back to you guys.
Oh,
we're pretty salty on Wade's World, but PG-13, much like the new cut of Deadpool 2 that's coming soon. We're the PG-13 Deadpool movie podcast, pretty much.
You were their inspiration.
Probably.
Maximum effort.
If they say Mark Herman can get it in the new cut, we'll know. Yeah. That's our sign.
Yeah, Ryan Reynolds will be like, Mark Harmon can get it.
Oh, speaking of Ryan Reynolds, American Horror Story, oh my God, which is dealing with the apocalypse and the Antichrist, and they were dealing with the Church of Satan, and they were like, so what did you get when you sold your soul? And so the one lady goes, and I get Ryan Reynolds every Friday, and then the two guys that work at the robotics firm we get him on Thursday, and I was just like, he's a popular guy.
The man is preternaturally handsome.
He has good cheekbones.
He has fantastic cheekbones.
He's got the movie star, chin and the whole thing. Yeah. The golden ratio.
And he's lovable, and he's had no horrific scandals yet. It's like, what it is.
He's Canadian. Come on.
Well, look at Justin Bieber. That doesn't mean anything.
Yeah.
And our favorite rapper, Drake. Look at him.
Drake has a sex scandal?
He has a baby with a porn star that he doesn't take care of. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Oh,
he doesn't take care of. Oh, he should take care of his kids.
That's what I'm saying.
See, but that's a familial scandal. That's not really a sex scandal.
Well, the point is that he had unprotected sex with a porn star several times to have that baby. That's not what you want to do. You know.
I know. Yeah. Okay. Let me put it this way: if you have consensual, unprotected sex, that's just stupid. He's not Cosbying anyone. Okay. He's not walking around with his bathrobe open. You know, there's certain.
Wait, was that a Louis C.K. reference? I feel like.
It's both. It's good for both Louis C.K. and Harvey Firestein. Not Harvey Firestein.
You leave Harvey Firestein out of this. Seriously.
Yes.
I'm not language the kids use these days.
Not Firestein.
Anyway, Phil, get us out of this muck.
Okay. Well, Charlie, did you see I guess the Orville's coming back a couple days before Gotham.
Good. Well, you see, they're bringing everything forward because they realize nobody wants to wait anymore.
Yeah, it's December.
Because of the deal.
It's December 30th. The Orville comes back.
Wow. Really?
Yep.
In the middle of the hiatus, the TV hiatus. That's interesting.
Mm-hmm. Maybe that's the plan.
When's that deal go through?
Well, what deal?
The deal.
The Disney Fox deal.
Disney. I thought it was already through.
I mean, well, where they actually take over everything.
When our change is going to be?
I feel like that's what this is all about. They're trying to get stuff grandfathered in or something. I don't know.
Well, yeah. Well, actually, yeah, because Disney now owns. Well, they don't own. Really, I don't know. I don't know if anything really gets grandfathered in anywhere. Aside from just the idea that anything that's Marvel Studios, because it's not like News Corp gets to hold on to any of that. That's and the individual channels don't get to hold anything. It's just the production house is going over to Disney, and they're all friends now. And if I would say anything, I would say if they're moving stuff up, it would do with the idea that there isn't a cost benefit for them to sit on content anymore. Releasing later doesn't really serve much purpose, especially if you have stuff that maybe is popular, like Orville, that you want to get out there and get your numbers up.
But December 30th?
Well, again, like you said, nothing else is on TV.
Yeah, it's because people are traveling. They're living their life. That's why generally people don't put stuff out during the winter holidays.
But if they're looking at it as people are going to want something to watch on their streaming services, it's all about streaming nowadays.
It's all about Christmas movies until January 2nd. Everybody know Hallmark Christmas movies, which started the week during Halloween, like the Monday before Halloween. Because we don't care about Thanksgiving, even though it is the most American holiday.
Yeah. Well, but even Thanksgiving gets a little weird.
Let's slaughter some natives.
Eat and sleep! Like, that is America, man. Eat, sleep, drinking football. Come on. And fight with your relatives. Like, what is more American than that?
Well, yeah, but, okay. So you're talking about what we do on Thanksgiving, not why we celebrate Thanksgiving.
Exactly. Not why we celebrate it.
Yeah, it's like Columbus
I don't even believe in the Christmas thing, but I'll take the presents, okay?
It's like Columbus Day, people say, well,
I've never celebrated Columbus Day. We were not allowed in our house.
We get sales on appliances. What's all the complaint about? Oh, well, because the guy that it's named after.
Although we've been steering away from the Columbus Day thing, much like that South Park episode last year, which is a good thing, I think.
Because
I'll cherish leaf, like Canadians.
Wasn't that? Yeah, isn't it either you can celebrate Columbus Day or Indigenous Peoples Day?
Yeah. Either way, it's just like
I want to celebrate Leif Erikson Day, the true founder of the true European who who got lost and found himself in North America. So that was actually a question I was wondering: is Greenland considered part of the North American continent, or is that?
No, it's not. It belongs to. I want to say it's not Iceland. It belongs to like Finway or Norway or Sweden. No, but it's not technically considered a part of us, yeah.
Well, I was actually wondering about the continental question, because of course Columbus never got to the United States, or the continental United States either. He wound up on the islands in the Caribbean. And it's this question of, well, if you're going to count the islands of the Caribbean, why are the islands of the North Atlantic not considered America? So, you know.
You split those here, bro. It's like, why is Europe a separate continent? It's one of those things. It's like, okay, we'll just...
Yeah. Well, I guess there is some, where the actual continental shelves are, that they do wander, they actually do that, you know. Of course, then technically India should be its own continent. Mm-hmm. Because India actually is a separate part. Because I think India might actually be part of the African continental shelf. But I'm not 100% certain on that. It's been a long time since I studied plate tectonics. So, but
right. You don't appreciate it at first, but then you're like, oh, I get it.
We're trying to get an educational grant here, Philip. Stop it! We need money.
We're educational and informative, as they say.
We're infotainment, damn it. What else
about
is
our
here?
place in our podcast, Quantum Zone?
Yes. Everything's science if you put quantum in front of it.
I just care about the sparkly tentacles. That's it. I'm just here for the sparkly tentacles.
We know a porn you watch. Okay.
I'm a weebo. It's fine.
Quantum tentacles?
Anyway, what else? Did you watch The Gifted? I am now officially behind on The Gifted. It is way too much stuff on TV, and I love to sleep and drink way too much. Something's got to go.
There's my drop. And yeah, I did watch. I did watch The Gifted.
Is it getting hot and heavy, or? Are we in that standstill till the mid-season finale?
No, I mean, it's all right. You got people working behind the scenes. Remember how they freed that mystery mutant from the hospital?
Yeah.
Well, it seems young Mr. Strucker has taken a liking to her.
Oh.
Yeah.
Of course.
Anyone we know?
If it ain't Juggernaut, we don't care.
I don't think it's a mutant. She can, like, turn stuff inside out.
Ooh, that could come in handy.
Like people? Or?
Well, they had her like practicing on like a big like safe or vault thing, and she was able to turn the whole thing inside out. They showed her doing an inanimate object. She even did like a police car, was able to turn it inside out. But
she's gonna use that on a human. That is Chekhov's mutant power, my friend.
Odd power. Like, what is she doing? Is she like tearing it apart and putting it back together? Is she just
reversing
inverting?
Yeah.
Yeah, like what is the science of this power? What are you doing? How, is this quantum tunneling that the atoms on one side are now reversed, and so the ones that were on the bottom are now on the top?
It's excellent. Don't think too much about it. You'll hurt yourself. I promise you. I just go with the pretty people and their nice powers.
At least it's not time travel.
Yeah, thank goodness.
Bishop greater than Cable. Fighting nerds.
Oh, now she wants Cable. Okay. She wants Cable. Anyway.
Greater than Cable. Just always remember that.
But you might have time to catch up, because I think they said this week coming up, the Flash and Black Lightning are off for
so people can get out and vote.
Yeah.
Although voting only really makes a difference on the local level, but we won't get into that. I early voted, so I don't go out with the unwashed masses and huge crowds. That's not my thing.
Oh.
Early vote, it's the best thing. And if you're overseas, ballot vote. Oh, I miss being in Europe so much. Just because you can do that.
So Flash and Black Lightning are off Tuesday. The Gift didn't know.
Okay. Well, I'm not watching the Flash anyway. Like, what's going on with Nora? Like, I can't. Like, angry black woman, really? No. Pass. Hard pass.
Thank you for bringing this up. All right. The CW shows. I have no problem with gay characters, but it just seems like lazy writing when they make in the Flash forward on Arrow. Oliver Queen's son is gay. Nora is now a lesbian, I guess. And
come on, bisexuality and aces at least.
Exactly.
For the love of goodness.
Black Lightning has a bisexual or a lesbian daughter, and
more ace and pansexual representation, please. I mean, that makes it at least.
I mean, I don't care. I mean, yeah, give us gay characters, but why on every show does everybody's kid? It just seems lazy writing that they all go in the same direction.
Or even worse, Curtis, Mr. Terrific. That is his only defining characteristic trait.
There you go.
It's like, oh, did you know I'm gay? Like, okay, yeah, we get it, dude. We get it.
What is that?
That is lazy writing. I agree. The best sexuality they have is Maggie, and the Arrowverse is Maggie.
Well, I guess when you talk about...
Go ahead.
Yeah. If I'm going to make an argument, and this is just being a devil's advocate here to bring it all back to Satan, talking about like a flash forward in people's children, as gender fluidity becomes and sexual fluidity becomes more common and accepted in society, more people are going to find themselves happier to identify with that, not a social construct to oppose it. So yeah, I mean, a lot of kids are going to grow up and they're going to be in a spot where they're more comfortable admitting where they are on the sexual spectrum, and I don't think that is anything. Now, yes, if gay or lesbian, somebody in society is simply saying, well, I'm more gay than I am bisexual, so I'm just going to say I'm gay, or however, or just the relation available to you at certain points in your life. You find yourself.
It just seems.
It's just like they're trying to get their you did good sticker. That's the point. Like, they don't develop it; they just let that sit in the air and say, "Oh, did we do good?"
Like I said, I don't care if every show has a gay character, which they do, but it just seems lazy that every main character's kid has. It just.
Yeah, it's unlikely, but then again, maybe that's the way of saying, oh, the timeline's all crazy. Or like when they went back and screwed up the timeline, and now Sulu's gay.
He was always. I'm just saying.
Oh. Lilith, they revealed why why Nora's all mad at Iris.
Why? Did she drown her one time?
No, when she was a baby in the future, Iris chipped her, so she didn't have any powers until like a couple months ago. That's why she like doesn't know.
Was it dangerous to be a meta?
Like, they haven't said a reason why.
Well, it's dangerous if you're thinking around at the speed of light. Yes, that is dangerous. Trust me, catching a 3-year-old at normal speed is hard enough. You don't want your 3-year-old to have super speed.
True, and Barry's missing in the future, so.
Oh, yeah, and especially if he ran too fast and disappeared. Oh, your child, she's running very fast now. Let's nip that in the bud. So my child doesn't disappear.
Well, I was saying...
kids always hate the mom, though. It's a thing. On TV is what I'm saying. Like, that's always the...
As soon as the chip you run too fast and disappears.
Exactly, and screws up the timeline.
Plus the
parent. Cicada.
Plus the parent who can catch you kid is going. Yeah.
But
whatever.
No one ever takes the parent's perspective on this.
Nope.
But speaking of the Flash, we got our answer about why Jesse Martin was sitting down in every scene. He has a back injury. He's taking a leave of absence or whatever.
Yeah, I don't know what he did to it. Is it just from being old, or all those years of tap dancing and singing and Broadway stuff?
He's a dancer. That stuff is murder on your body. That's
take it from exotic dancer Charlie Esser.
I just hope they don't use this as an excuse to write him out.
What?
She says, I said younger. She said she hopes it's not an excuse to write him out.
Yeah.
So,
because he's the last good parent in the Arrowverse. In the last alive one, I think.
Yeah, well, maybe. Yeah. I mean, I don't think they would write him out because of it, unless he is having a problem with pills.
Unless he asked to or something. Yeah.
I mean, he can still live on those residuals. I mean, if he finishes out season 5, there you go. It's going to be, Flash to be in syndication as soon as we get to that 88 marker. Wait, no, we're past the 88 marker.
Yeah, we're closing in on 100.
Yeah, so we're good to go. Get that money. Oh, Law and Order, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, but
although it's getting hard to find Law and Order reruns. It's getting really hard to find Law and Order, like regular, actual Law and Order that's not SVU.
I was gonna say it's all SVU.
Mariska.
There now.
I miss Maloney. Fight me. Anyway, yeah, the Arrowverse is a mess. Like, I actually like Supergirl is my favorite one right now, which is weird.
Huh.
Like, I never thought I'd say that.
How did you like this last Sunday's episode with the flashback with who's that, Sam Witwer?
Yeah. I I love Lena, and you guys can fight me. I just don't want her with Jimmy or James. I'm sorry. I'm infatuated.
It just seems like they're trying to give both characters something to do, and it's like, give them more.
Yeah. Well, actually, James can exit stage left. His character has run his course. He's not gardening anymore. He's a terrible editor. He's gonna listen to that girl. He's a pushover. Perry White would not stand for this. Old school Perry White. Get the hell out of my office. I'm just saying.
He's your millennial boss.
You gotta make money. So yes, you do have to ride that fence. I'm sorry, that's just the way that things work. But whatever.
Yeah.
Especially a newspaper. Come on. Actual newspaper where they still have print. Granted, it's Earth 38 still. Newspaper business is the same everywhere.
Yeah, that's why I really had no interest in that New Amsterdam series where the doctor says it's a new medical drama. I think it's on NBC or CBS, but anyway, it's not one of those things. But the opening thing is the new head of the hospital says, everyone in the cardiology department is fired because if you put profit over saving lives, I don't want you in my hospital. And it's
modern day healthcare, especially come on.
Well, not only that, but just the idea that it's not like we do this for free. We don't have
doctors rack up so much debt, and lawyers too, and stuff like that. I get it.
Yeah, it's just it's a poorly. The idea of someone who's going to say we don't care about there's something called B Corps, which is a company, which is this idea that is taking root in corporate culture, which is saying we care about more than profit. And it's okay to say we care about more than profit. We want to actually.
You absolutely care about profit. Don't.
You absolutely care about profit. We got into business for business.
Not saying greed is good, but having money is nice because you need it. I'm just saying.
Well, or you can say we're greedy for air we can breathe. We want to make sure there's air we can breathe, and that we're not always worrying about civil unrest due to poverty throughout the world. But these are actually very self-interested goals if you want them to be. Clean water, that's a good thing. I would like to know that there is clean water and that there's not that if I accidentally go to Flint, Michigan and drink out of a water fountain, I'm going to suddenly get lead poisoning, There's reasons to make sure that water is safe everywhere because, you can't always assume you're going to be at the top of the food chain. So,
some people do.
You can't. Yeah, and those are the people who usually get eaten. That's what I'm telling you.
Oh, okay. What's up, though? Comic book chat or no?
I don't care. We can get the comic books.
The most interesting book, I'm not saying that it's good, but the most interesting book that I read this week from DC was Deathstroke and Yogi Bear.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
It wasn't Nightwing and Magilla Gorilla?
That was the second one, and I was just like, why does this work? I hate you. It was not that bad.
I know. This is one of the first crossover books I've read, and it wasn't bad. I was I don't know if I'm going to like this, but I did.
I know. I was just like, that's not the normal team that wrote that either, right?
No.
And that explains it.
Just is there a backstory for Magilla Gorilla? Is he from Gorilla City, or is he just a talking gorilla?
Well, in this world, I feel like it's this weird mashup amalgam universe. It seems like to me, where they don't feel the need to.
It seems like there's just talking animals because I don't think they said anything.
Yeah, because the thing with Tweety Bird, it just seemed like they're just talking animals.
Yeah, well, but what's interesting is that when we get the banana splits, it was clearly meant to imply that the banana splits had been shoved into this universe. That they were not from that DC universe.
I think it's up
which
to
maybe
the
is
writer.
That there is sort of it's all a question about whether or not you're going to assume there's something deeper into the story.
Mm-hmm.
That it is going to be revealed that no, there actually was a universal collision starting with the banana splits, and then it's all eventually been back integrated into everybody's life. That now Hong Kong Fooey and Black Lightning are actually old friends. And Magilla Gorilla is a proud citizen of Gorilla City. Maybe. I don't know. I didn't read the book, but that's what I'm most curious about, is do they give Magilla Gorilla a backstory tied to Gorilla City? Or are they simply talking gorillas in this universe? Or is he from April Wing?
Well, basically, he's like a movie star who wants to make a movie of the life story of the Graysons, and he was raised by his manager, him and his Magilla and his sister.
Okay.
Grape Ape is in this.
Yes.
Oh man. No,
this is for the Hanna-Barbera nerds, definitely.
They're kind of like rivals, yeah.
Oh, Grape Ape and Magilla Gorilla is... Yeah. That's weird, because I wouldn't see them going up for the same parts, since Grape Ape is 50 feet tall. Or is he not in this book?
I guess he's not.
Like
No, he's not.
He's kind of just a Sasquatch at that point.
They seem to be about like the same size, yeah.
Okay.
And Beagle, and...
Oh, I love Beagle.
And it's a murder. Yeah, okay. And it's a murder mystery. So.
Okay, so if these books keep doing well, are we gonna get the Snagglepuss full series or what? I don't know. I don't know why they keep doing it unless we're just going for the full Snagglepuss. I need that book back.
Yeah. Well, I think that's definitely something they want to do. I mean, Snagglepuss was critically and financially successful.
Yeah.
So it's there's no reason for them not to make more Snagglepuss books. But then they may also be saying, but you know what? We don't want to just make Snagglepuss books to make Snagglepuss books. We want to have a story to tell with Snagglepuss. It doesn't make much sense to take a critical...
Well, the world that they set up was pretty cool, so...
Yeah, well, exactly. Well, and it makes you wonder if there will be some kind of expansion to suggest that there is this crossover between these universes, that, you get your... I mean, heck, I would love to see a Justice Society Snagglepuss crossover. That's your crossover. Because there's,
That would make sense, actually, yeah.
Yeah, I know, that's why I threw it out.
Well, what was up with the Deathstroke one? I didn't read it.
Oh, man, Yogi Bear, I was just I didn't think this was going to work, but, you just got to read it. I don't want to spoil it. It's actually really good, and I will send you my copy if you want to. I don't want to spoil it. It's just really good.
Okay.
You just go Deathstroke and Yogi Bear. But then they turn it on you, and it's
Now, is it a team up or they
just kind of run into each other? It's not necessarily a team up. It's just a really weird, random story.
Okay. Just out of curiosity, did they ever establish what the bears are, so that we know that Yogi is smarter than the average bear? How smart is the?
Well, actually, bears are pretty smart, but not that smart. They're the smartest, a 3-year-old.
Yeah,
and some dogs are as smart as 5-year-olds, so
Yeah, okay, so
they've been known to use tools, and if you get hill bears, they know how to take your trash cans and open the trash, even if you bungee cord it. So I mean, they're resourceful.
Okay. Oh, so
anyway, Phil.
Oh, but did you know there was a DC book that wasn't part of that crossover thing that had an animal story in it that got me? Lilith, did you read Batman Secret Files #1?
No.
There's a bunch of short stories, but there's one towards the end with Detective Chimp, and it was good. I mean, usually
another Detective Chimp story? Oh no.
I usually don't care about Detective Chimp, but I mean this one was good.
I know, but I'm just saying that's just so weird. It's the second
maybe they're trying to make him a thing.
Give me Ace. I don't care about Detective Chimp. Give me Ace.
Neither do I, but it was a good story. Yeah.
Okay.
And there's a bunch of other ones in here, like the first.
So, what's the deal with Secret Files though? Why are we bringing this back?
And is it or is it just a one shot? Because I don't think I remember hearing.
No, we have many Secret Files series though throughout DC's history. So it's just usually that's it happens after the big refresh.
It was just a bunch of short stories. The first one was a Tom King one where Superman brings Batman kryptonite, and he says, if you touch this special kryptonite, you'll get powers for the rest of your life. And it's just Batman sitting there thinking, am I enough?
I mean, he does secretly still have that one lantern ring. I'm saying he's good. He's good to go. And Superman would never do that. He secretly hates Batman. What are we talking about?
I could kill him if I wanted to.
Maybe he did that just to torment Batman. Say, you could have superpowers.
And it probably was a placebo.
The powers were in you all along, Bruce.
Was it gold? What was the color of the kryptonite? Was it gold?
No, I'm trying to remember. It was something he yanked out of the Phantom Zone. Was it?
Because that's weird that it would give a human. I'm just saying. Like, but if it was like the opposite, that it took powers to transfer. Yeah.
Oh, platinum kryptonite.
No, wait, I thought we had a precedent for platinum. That's why I was asking. Like, we pretty much have all the colors. Like, I'll have to go back to my list of kryptonite somewhere, but I'm pretty sure that's or they reboot, whatever.
Yeah.
But yeah, did you read Heroes in Crisis? I'm not reading that crap.
I did.
Is it good?
Oh, you did?
It's good, but it's like it's still like, is Harley Quinn the killer? Is Booster Gold? Is it someone else? Because
my money's on Booster.
He's
a screw up.
He is acting kind of wacky, but there was a good scene where like Booster meets up with Barry Allen and he's like talking to him about what happened at Sanctuary, and Barry's like, wait, what? Because Barry hadn't heard about it yet, so Barry zips off and he must find Wally's body, and he comes back, he's like, what did you do?
Ooh.
Yeah, Barry's about to lay the smack.
Great, at least.
Yeah, Barry's about to lay the smackdown on Booster, yeah.
Angry Barry's my favorite Barry.
Yeah.
Did you pick up the Terrifics annual #1, Charlie, or no?
No, I actually haven't really been reading the Terrifics very much. I actually, that never got pulled. The only thing that's actually in my poll right now, because I wanted to get actually Heroes in Crisis in my poll, although I didn't get to the comic book store this week. I probably won't get to the comic book store until next week. But the only things that I'm really reading are Justice League Dark, which I am loving. Detective Chimp, if you're wondering why Detective Chimp's so popular, it's because of me. And of course, the new Death, which I really love. I love the new Challenger. I really think it's a great series, and I don't care if it. So that's what I'm reading over at DC. I want to start reading Crisis too. I really want to read Heroes in Crisis. So I just
best Marvel book this week.
Oh,
West Coast Avengers #3. Fight me. I dare you.
That is good.
Yes. No argument. That was actually what I was going to say. Of the 2 books I read, I actually even like that better than Marvel 2-in-1 because, Reed being Reed, it's interesting, but also it's just stop being the world's smartest idiot, Reed.
He can't help it. Sue's not going to smack him around the way he needs to be smacked around.
No, but what I loved about West Coast Avengers, also, of course, because Gwenpool, and her dealing with the fact that, she's been rebooted. And she doesn't know what her power situation is. And I love that as a concept. Just like, oh, man, I think I've been rebooted. And then Quentin Quire trying to have to deal with the idea that, like, no, she has, like, powers. She can, like, reality alter and all this kind of stuff. Like, not yet. Not at the moment. Redder hasn't said I could do that. Which is what I love about a metafictional character is this question of when their powers don't work, how do other people deal with that? It's like, oh, well, she just never really had powers. Like, yep, okay, sure. I'm just crazy, or I'm not. It's interesting and brilliant in the way that you have to deal with the fact that, you're in a universe controlled by a writer, and how do you deal with that?
Especially
and so that really made the book.
Your character changes so many hands.
So did So did anybody read? Well, I know Charlie didn't. Well, did you read Old Man Hawkeye #10?
I did. I mean, it's not. I don't know. Like, I'm just getting kind of frustrated with the story, I think.
Well, I mean, it's basically him tracking down the old Thunderbolts because they betrayed everyone. And Charlie, this issue, he finds Moonstone. The stone's basically eating her alive.
Oh.
She deserves it. No worries.
She what?
She deserves it. No worries.
Oh, yeah. Well, she deserves it. She is probably one of the most evil characters in the Marvel universe.
And now she wants
Like
her.
Supergirl.
Well, Hawkeye's tracking Zemo, but Moonstone wants him too because she's like, he promised me a seat at the table, and guess what? He didn't pay up. So
Yeah.
Misogynist.
Yeah.
Backstabbing misogynist.
Hey, man, who thought that Nazis would be like, bad people?
exactly.
Who thought
It's like
Nazis
Hitler
would
went
keep
crazy.
their word? Yeah, it can't make a deal with the Nazi. That's the problem.
There was also some weird random X-Men book, Black, the one with Emma Frost, and I was just like, okay. Did you see that one?
Yeah, I saw it. I didn't read it. Yeah, because they're doing like one shots of those. Cause didn't they do a Magneto one, and they did a Mystique one, and now it's an Emma Frost.
Interesting people. Emma Frost, her heyday has been over. Let's get some Dazzler.
Well, I think they're trying to clean her up. Like, oh no, she's not an X-Men now. She's back to being. Is that it?
Yeah.
Is she like back to being evil? Yeah.
Yeah. As I thumbed through it as quickly as I could before the local shopkeep saw me.
Yeah. But we can all agree that we need more Dazzler. What's she up to now? Does anyone know?
I saw a book with her on the cover not too long ago. Oh. I can't think of why it was, but
what's she up to? I just, I wanted to. That's all I want. Although I understand it was kind of a one-sided relationship, but maybe you don't want to.
Did you pick up Spider Force though? Because I feel like I want somebody to tell me that it's okay before I pick it up.
No, I was thumbing through it. I didn't pick it up. I picked up Spider Girls, which was good, but yeah, I don't know. I didn't feel the need to pick up Spider Force.
And I'm just like, Spider Force, I don't know how I feel about this. It's too close to, Speed Force.
The only one I really would care about in that is Kane, and I'm just like, I don't know.
He's like, it's not Ben Reilly. I don't care. I don't care. Don't you dare, Philip.
I love Ben Reilly.
You know what? It's okay. One of these days you'll get your comeuppance. It's okay.
I love Ben Reilly.
I'd had to push the buttons literally. Did anyone read the last issue of Old Man Logan?
That's okay.
Oh, it's the last issue?
Well, it's the last issue until the 12 issue miniseries Dead Man Logan.
Let Wolverine rest in peace for 5 years. Please. Please. I beg of thee.
He's got a podcast now, Laura. They're not letting poor Wolverine die. He's got the Phoenix Force and all that kind of stuff.
I know.
And you mark my words, he's coming back in Thor. And after he's forced, and I will die and finally get my. Nope. That's not how it works, Logan.
Well, regular Wolverine's coming back in Return of Wolverine with hot claws now.
Who asked for that?
Hot claws.
Like, what is he going to do? Make shish kebabs for the kids?
He can heat them up. I don't know why.
So he can make shish kebab for the kids. That's what that's about. That's
so they're metal hot? They're not like psychic claws or...
No, yeah, they're the metal, but he can heat them up.
When he gets angry, ooh.
You wouldn't like me when I'm angry, bub.
Okay. Oh my god.
Yeah, I don't know, like Red Hulk or Red Hulk would get hot.
That's somebody's weird fetish come to fruition, okay? Like,
you know what? Some artists do that, and they're like that. We should write a story where that's the way it is.
It's canon now. I have the power.
Well, see, the thing what is the point of that for a character like Wolverine? Wolverine is supposed to be a very muscle and blood character. And you suddenly give him energy manipulation? I don't know. Make it believable as to how he could defeat Lobo now? Is that the idea?
And it's like he already has a healing, this super healing factor and indestructible claws and bones. Yeah, you're going to give him something else too.
Yeah, Gary Stu! That's his new name!
I guess. I don't know. I just don't understand how that's even useful as a story device. It's like...
Oh, snaps.
He was pretty good as he was. Less high-end So here's how you tie it in. Back to that from, I believe it was the Millar run, of Wolverine tied to the Gaia Force. And Wolverine as essentially tied to the structure of Earth and life itself. Maybe that is magma hot claw. So now the metal him as the of the world itself, and that's the heat.
Well, there's like a
possible.
I don't know, because it's like they haven't fully explained it yet, but I don't know if it's like a weird cloning thing. It's like supposedly this evil scientist. I guess she like works on bringing back extinct species and stuff. So she must have did something to bring Wolverine back.
Wait, so Wolverine's a clone?
They haven't fully explained it, but maybe.
How is cloning both the easiest and hardest technology to crack in the Marvel Universe? It's like, no, our clones, they're so delicate and impossible. And like, or they're really easy, and I got like 6 in the vat. You need a clone? I got like, how has the Wizard mastered cloning? Like 23 times at least, and everyone else is like, I mean, granted, the Wizard is supposed to be a super genius, and so maybe that's kind of their thing. It's like, no, Wizard's like just that good.
In Marvel, it works and when it has to, and then other times, oh, how can we get this to work?
Yeah, well, exactly. It's like, and it's like, there are guys that clearly that's their shtick. We just clone people. Clones are us. There are clearly clones in the Marvel Universe. And then you have other people who are like, oh, I don't know how cloning works. Or it just seems like this should be more established science. Unless there's some argument that, well, you don't really discuss our findings in society because it isn't ready for clones. And so because society isn't ready for clones, all of the science on cloning, it's all like dark web stuff. So you never know what is real and what is just somebody having their research. So that would be a great backstory to go into. To explain it, that this is why cloning isn't an established science, because discussions of cloning technology, science, literature, and so all of the writings you can find from Wikipedia. So, it's all real questionable.
Yeah. I don't know.
Or we never want to go through the clone.
I like my idea
again.
I know. But, before we go, Lilith, did you watch Titans episode 4?
No, I was going to do that today.
Okay.
How did it go?
Raven meets the Doom Patrol.
Oh, nice. I heard that Raven and Starfire are getting better costumes by the end of the season.
Yeah, I did hear that. Wasn't there a picture?
I saw the picture, but it was still kind of dark and blurry, and I'm just like, if you say so, I don't care.
Well, it's live action DC, of course it's dark and blurry.
I mean, Arrow was bright for seasons 4 and 5.
Yeah. And
Supergirl's pretty bright. They shoot during the daytime.
Trrough.
Yes.
Right. If it's not,
I like. It's interesting the explanation they give for why Beast Boy only becomes tigers. Essentially, the reason why Beast Boy only becomes a donkey in Teen Titans Go, which is he just likes that animal the best.
It's his favorite, yeah. Well, yeah, the chief of
my favorite animal. Also, I like the. I don't know if that's
because he's an ass. Yeah. We get it.
No, go ahead.
No, go ahead, Charlie.
No, but I like their basically Beast Boy. What's the matter? Are you not hearing me?
Yeah, I heard you. I said, yeah, go ahead. You were kind of, but you're fine. Go ahead.
Yeah. Anyway, yeah, I like the idea that basically Beast Boy and reconfigures it every time he changes into a new animal, which is kind of weird and doesn't make any sense at all. But we'll go along with it.
What?
It should be then. Yeah, it doesn't make much sense, but it's a fun explanation. It works for the story, and it gives a reason. We made a tiger, and we don't have enough money to make another animal. Next season, we'll have a tiger and a donkey.
Or a bird.
Yes. Yeah.
Oh, bird animation is really hard. I doubt it.
Okay. A dog, maybe.
Just use a real dog.
Yes.
Paint them green.
Oh.
You don't actually use a real tiger for that? I had assumed that was a real tiger that they just CGI colored green.
Who's
they just had a trained
tiger?
That's actually pretty cheap to do. I'm assuming that's an original base animation. If they can't afford to do other animals.
Yeah. It might be cheaper than actually getting a real tiger, too. So, yeah. Anyway, but that's. I haven't been looking at it like, okay, I get up to 5 or 6 episodes. I'll do that pre-month and see how that goes.
Just wait for the whole season to be done.
Yeah, that's a possibility,
But for any of you listening who may be interested in Titans, join us next episode when we have Brian Edward Hill, who wrote episode 5. Well, he wrote.
And I'll be caught up by then.
So okay, so yeah, so we'll next episode we'll be able to discuss we'll talk to the guy who wrote the next episode. So
nice.
And what is that episode titled?
I believe it's Asylum.
Oh, Asylum. Mm-hmm. Arkham.
I don't know.
I think
or
this
going
is
to Arkham?
Political or mental, like mental solace asylum, not necessarily like.
Maybe.
Yeah, we'll see.
I don't know, or maybe they go to Arkham, man. That's Don't assume.
I don't think we're going to Gotham anytime soon.
Don't judge me. All right. Anyone have anything else?
No, just shameless plugs. I'm sober now.
I was going to say, Wolf must have woke up. All right.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, if you wanted to send us any questions, especially for Brian Edward Hill next episode, email us, capesandlunatics@gmail.com, facebook.com/capesandlunatics, at capeslunatics on Twitter, Capes and Lunatics on Instagram, and the voicemail, 614-382-2737. That's 614-38-CAPES. And Lilith?
If you nerds want to fight me, at Lilith Hellfire. If you want to follow me on Instagram, at Lilith Hellfire 86. If you want to talk Superman, Smallville, and or swearing, just find me at Save Me Podcast on Twitter, Facebook, Pinterest, and or Instagram.
Fight me, nerd.
And Charlie Esser.
Well, you can always write to me in that old-fashioned email where I'm awesome possible instead at superconnectivityblog@gmail.com. That's superconnectivityblog, all one word, @gmail.com. Of course, follow me on the Twitters as I live tweet all these great shows that are coming back, like Orville and Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. and Gotham. That's a good show. I like it. Sometime next year. At Charlie Esser. That's CharlieEsser. Look for the 2 E's in the middle.
For quality.
Bing!
We'll throw on a button there, Philip. If you want to use that drop, you got to be on it.
I know.
It's funnier when he's not.
That's right. One for the humor. Anyway.
Oh, there you go.
So, join us next week when we have someone important here. Anyway. So, but for this time, we have been the Capes. The Capes.
Ampersand.
You don't sound like when it Capes and Lunatics.
I thought you were doing a dramatic pause for music.
I thought you were doing a dramatic pause. What a mess. So that's right. Join us next time for a big interview.
Sounds like a plan. Have a good night.